So I just watched a Gable Steveson interview at Media Day. This guy sounds like an AI character. There's no charisma there. There's no charisma. There's literally no charisma. I can't even compliment this guy. He has got no charisma. When he talks so fast. He talks like this. So, I'm blessed to be here, man. It's a good time. I penetrated that girl when she was asleep, but it is okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the cops got me off. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks and sounds fucking petrified. He sounds like his lawyer has informed him of what to say and how to say it. Like, it's giving John Jones vibes. But at least John Jones, when John Jones speaks, there's like aura. Jones is not the most He's not the most complete on the mic. He's not the most charismatic on the mic. He's a pretty boring character, but at least when he talks, it's John Jones. He's got the record he's got. He's gotten all the names on his record. He's beaten all the legends that he's beaten. And there's this aura of invincibility about him. And when he speaks and he's speaking very dry and monotone, it's almost like a sociopathic killer's talking. So there's at least some level of intrigue when John Jones speaks like that. But when Gable Steveson speaks like that, he just sounds like an AI character. He's slouched over, there's no charisma. It's not like I'm expecting this bloke to be yapping like Josh Hockett out there. But at least, like, smile, bro. You know what I mean? Like, there's no variation in the tone of his voice when he's speaking. And it's just insane that the UFC is pushing this guy as hard as they are. This guy, sure, fair enough, he's got some exciting fights on his record. But anyone can look good on the regional scene, especially at heavyweight, if you're any form of athlete. Gable Steveson, obviously, Olympic gold medalist. This guy's athletic as hell. He's got extremely gifted genetics, fast twitch muscle fibers, strength, everything, you know what I'm saying? He's fast, he's strong, he's fit. Of course he's going to go out there on the regional scene and knock out 40-year-old cab drivers who are going through a midlife crisis after their wife just divorced them and took half of their shit. Of course he's going to go out there and stomp on these blokes who are training MMA as a way to get back at their ex or as a way to fight their demons, ripping Monster Energies, doing a couple lines in the basement, hitting the heavy bag, playing a bit of the AC/DC, you know what I'm saying? Andrew Tate on repeat. You know what I mean? Escape the Matrix type shit. Like, he's fighting guys that are not legit athletes and that are not legit heavyweight fighters. He's on the regional scene, and this guy is coming out here as an Olympic gold medalist, a fucking athlete with nutrition and coaches, and he's being coached by John Jones, of all people, the greatest MMA fighter of all time, arguably, very much arguably, by the way. Check out my UFC GOAT list video. I'll link it in the description. He's being trained by arguably the GOAT of MMA, John Jones. And he's fighting these booms, yeah? So of course he's going to look fucking good on the regional scene. That doesn't say shit about his fucking potential as a UFC fighter. He could go out there and he could get smashed by Sergey Spivak. You know what I mean? Like, the UFC is clearly going to try and build this guy up slowly. And if he does become one of the top contenders in the heavyweight division, I see trouble. I see trouble for him, right? He has nothing on the mic. There is nothing there for him. And look, the champ, Tom Aspinall, the interim champ, Cyril Gane, one of the top contenders, Alex Pereira, all in the heavyweight division, have very little mic skills. But they're at least interesting. They're at least likable. Like Tom Aspinall, as much as some people like to hate on him, I would say he's generally liked by the MMA community. He's got the British fan base behind him. He's got his YouTube channel, he's doing content, he's got the Nina drama moment. Have you ever been thinking about an MMA fight? He's got moments that make him likable and make him interesting, that give him some personality. And maybe with time, Gable Steveson will have these moments as well. But Tom Aspinall, at least, is somewhat likable. Cyril Gane is, okay, he's fair enough, he's hateable. But, he's got the French population, he's got the French nation behind him. Alex Pereira is obviously a fucking superstar. All he has to do is say Shama, and people will love him. Gable Steveson hasn't got anything going for him right now. And if anything, all he's got is bad press because of the cover-up and the alleged grape that he did with a mate of his in college. It's a crazy story if you want to look it up. He's got nothing but bad press right now, and he's not making it any better by going out there and just, nervously answering questions on 2x speed, trying to get in and get out as soon as possible. He's got the charisma of a fucking donut, and it sounds like he's reading answers from ChatGPT. He sounds like an AI generated character. And we're going to see how he performs, because if he does not go out there and starch Elisha Ellison, the bloated 170 pounder, the undisciplined welterweight, if he doesn't go out there and starch this no-name bum within 30 seconds, you already know the hate's going to be there, because he's not a likable dude, right? Having likable characteristics and being likable in the UFC can carry you so far. And he hasn't got any of that. He hasn't got any of that. Gable Steveson, I don't know if he's like listening to a speech coach or something, or he's trying to imitate John Jones. But if you know the video I'm talking about, it's the media day interview he did, the only media day interview of a prelim fighter that has been published by the UFC. So clearly the UFC is trying to push this bloke. The only media day interview published by the UFC, Gable Steveson, he is just sounding like such a robot. Like there's no, and all the comments are saying this too. All the comments are absolutely rinsing him, and rightfully so. He just sounds like a robotic nobody. Like, who is this guy, bro? You know what I mean? He's only had bad press coming up until his fight, and realistically, it's not looking good for him if he doesn't get a crazy performance. And you know how Josh Hockett is. You know how the UFC fan base is. If he becomes a top contender, all that shit from his past is getting brought up 100%. So in many ways, he really is the successor to John Jones, in that controversy will always follow him around. And I can't even say I wish him the best, because if it's true what he did, then he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He doesn't deserve to be fighting in the UFC. He doesn't deserve to have a platform. He doesn't deserve to have the potential to make millions of dollars and become a superstar, get sponsorships and shit. But we'll see what happens with him, man. I mean, I'm excited to see his fight. It's his debut. He's one of the biggest favorites of UFC history. He's the biggest favorite on the card. So we'll see if he goes out there and he starches Elisha Ellison, or maybe the Elisha Ellison title run starts now. You never know. Gable Steveson, lock in, bro. Go watch a fucking Conor McGregor edit, bro. Go watch some shit-talking Conor McGregor and imitate him. Because Kamaru Usman telling stories by the campfire, Israel Adesanya dropping cringe-ass one-liners, Alex Pereira spamming Sharma, Max Holloway spamming "We Gon' Find Out Saturday Night." They're all more interesting than you, little bro. They're all more interesting than you. This is not the NFL. Fans actually care about how fighters carry themselves, and fans actually care about if fighters have personality or not. That's one of the biggest draws in this sport. No wonder the bro was kicked out of the WWE. He can't speak for shit. And quite frankly, he needs to step it up. I hope he has a good performance for the sake of his career, to be honest with you, because otherwise he's cooked. He's cooked. He speaks like a ChatGPT prompt, and we'll see if he's actually a good fighter. That's all. That's my thoughts on Gable Steveson. Just thought I'd drop some thoughts, you know. It is what it is, man. We've seen a lot of shit guys on the mic, but not so many shit guys on the mic that are this pushed by the UFC and are this promoted. So we'll see if he lives up to the hype. I'll see you boys later. Much love.